Yellow, 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 yellow. And it's Monday night. No, we're not wrong. We're not wrong. It's Tuga with the Monday edition, special edition of the show because the special situations, the special news, special everything. On top of everything, right? It's Christmas Eve tomorrow, so we're not gonna do it right by the Christmas tree, with Santa Claus in there. Yeah, no. Probably Santa won't be a good soccer player, but who knows? All right, guys, we're back, and as you see, for a reason, I didn't set this up. All right? I didn't do the layout. Right, the computer did it, and for some reason, Mikey D'Agostino, Mr. Benfica, is on top. Mikey, welcome back. I know it's been a crazy, the holiday season for you because of work and everything else. But I'm glad that it's almost over. It's almost over.
One more night to go. I can see the end now.
Perfect time to have you back, brother. Right? Give me your 30 seconds on your number one team in the nation, brother.
Oh, listen, for real, the league starts now. We're all even. Everybody's had their crisis. Everybody has gone through their slump. It starts for real now. Everybody, we're practically even.
We're still in the slump. We're not out of the crisis.
No, we'll see. Yeah, Rui Borges is on his way, so who knows? Happy. 9 wins out of 10. You can't complain. The performances haven't been great, but 9 wins out of 10 is exactly what needed to happen to get back in the race. And Benfica took care of their business and let the results fall where they may, and things went our way in the other matches.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Now, Mr. Gomez, he sent me the news. We were talking about this. When was that? Saturday? I was calling the game that I messaged you guys that, hey, yo operate out. Like that. Somebody told me this, right? Yeah. I was like, wait, hold on a second. I didn't see nothing about this. Boom! Monday morning, right away, 6 a.m.
Monday morning firing,
6 a.m., 6:55 exactly. I'm just kidding. I don't know what time that is. Mr. Gomez, welcome to Tuga Tuesdays. Give me your 30 seconds on your on the news today. You were asking about Joe Pereira, but this is Rui Borges, and you were not that happy about it. We're gonna go more in depth on this, but
we'll go more in depth.
Initial thoughts on this. Initial thoughts.
Well, I'm happy that we record Tuga Tuesdays, so there's a record, and I've been talking about ousting this guy since the Arsenal game. And there's proof. There's the recordings. I was against it pretty much right from the get-go. So, I do.
And you also predicted that
I thought this was overdue. I thought it should have never happened. This is, 100% on Varandas. It was just he just wasn't ready for this. To deal with a team of this magnitude, to be one of the big clubs. So, I mean, you can't blame this guy. He just, right now, he may never have it, but definitely right now, he doesn't have the stuff to, to coach, a big team like Sporting. But again, I've said this from the get-go too. I do not blame him at all. This is 100% on Frederic Varandas. I was very, concerned because at the gala he kept on making the excuses about injuries. Then he talked about how the group would not accept anybody from the outside, so he had to go with João Pereira, which is baloney. These guys are professionals, so they're professional soccer players. They're going to take instruction by whoever the coach is, that they're being paid here to do it. So he made these excuses and he talked about going with João Pereira to the end. I guess the end was just a week later,
That's pretty quick.
So that was pretty quick. It was a half-hour speech, and he said that, and I got concerned. It's like, oh, this guy's gonna hang on to him for quite a long while longer, But he pulled the plug. It was the right thing to do, but the damage has been done, and I don't see us coming back from this. That's my opinion.
I know. We'll see what happens. What happens. Mr. Mauricio Ruano, the only man in the entire globe that watches every single game from the Liga Portugal. So, you know what I'm going to ask you, right? You Santa Clara versus Braga. Santa Clara versus Braga in the island. Battle for the number 4 in the Bishops and the Islanders. That I thought they were going to put up a different. I thought they were going to be better. I thought that Santa Clara was going to be better, but in the end, it was the thorough return of Ricardo Horta to the lead. To lead this team to the victory with Bruma scoring the goals for them. So what do you think about these Bishops? Are they back in business or it's just not yet?
Not yet. They're very inconsistent. They're up and then they're down. They feel like there's something coming on, and then they fall back down a little bit. I thought Santa Clara didn't have the same aggressiveness as they did those 2 Spartan games. The counterattack wasn't there that they were trying to do like they did with Spartan. And I think that red card really messed them up. It really messed them up, and it brought the game down. And it almost like the red card almost pushed their aggressiveness even back further. Like, you know what? Let's not, before we get another one or anything like that. So I think Braga caught them on a good day. And unfortunately for Santa Clara, they just couldn't find their way into the match. Their defense, which is what's carried them throughout this league, being a top 5 defensive team in the league, it just wasn't meant to be that day. It just wasn't a good day for them.
I know. I was expecting not a little bit, a lot more from Santa Clara. I'm talking about expectations, right? We all got. By the way, in Peru, let you know, guys, my beloved Universitario Deportes finally signed their number 9. A 35-year-old striker who scored 4 goals this season. That's the signing that we got for our team. I'm not that happy about it. But I'm mentioning this because of the expectations on Vangelis Pavlidis with Benfica. And still, I'm going to say underperforming, underachieving. Only 4 goals in the Primera Liga. I know he scored goals in Europe. I know that. It's been 52 days since the last goal that he scored in the Primera Liga. He finally scored again. And then you got this guy, Siki Amduni, who is playing the Paulinho this year for Benfica, being the best super sub in the Primera Liga. Mikey, your thoughts on this matter about the strikers and who's scoring, who's coming off bench, Di Maria? What is the deal?
I'm more concerned with the service. The service has been terrible. Watch 1 in every 10 deliveries into the box has been with any kind of quality. When regardless if it's Pavlidis or if it's Cabral, when they go to the near post, the ball goes to the far post. When they go to the far post, the ball arrives at the near post. It's been like this all season. It hasn't been good. I mean, Bod crosses the ball a million times. Never once does he look to see where anybody is. He just delivers it into a general area. He misses the target every time. Even Carreras, as good as he's been, his crosses have not been that good. Again, today, the deliveries just did not arrive. You know, you're playing against a back 5, and the ball is not arriving in the areas where people are, and that's why you're getting. And when it does, the ball's getting skied because it's behind the runner. I thought today, especially Artur Kuglu, was really poor. I wanted to see Zeki play in where he was, behind Pavlidis. I want to see Amduni play behind Pavlidis in that number 10 role where Rafa used to play. Yeah. And I think then we might have a better attack. And then you have options, because right now, what Bruno Lage did today I didn't like at all, because he took Florentino out and he plays with a double pivot in midfield. Both Kokshu and Auschwitz are way too far back. They're playing back near the defenders. So there's even fewer people in the attacking third to find when the ball gets down there. So, of course, Pavlidis is going to be against 2, maybe 3 defenders every time that they go looking for him. And I think when you have either Florentino or you have Barreiro playing in that role by themselves, the other 2 can get further up the field and can get into better positions. I think the problem is more with the service than it is with the strikers, because no matter who starts, they don't produce. It doesn't matter which one of the 3 start. They don't produce as a starter. Coming off the bench, Pavlidis has scored off the bench as well. But right now, Zeki's getting the goals off the bench. But he's had opportunities as a starter, and he's not been as good as he is when he comes in off the bench. So I think it's a bigger problem than just which striker is playing.
Right, because when he was starting, he went also into a drought for like I don't know, like 45 days or so, almost the same as
exactly.
So
yeah,
just who's better and when, right? Yeah. Mr. Gomez, we were talking about your beloved Sporting yesterday. That you said that that was unfortunately the best second half you've seen.
Yeah,
under your operators, but 14 shots, right? In 14 shots, 7 on target. 7 shots on target. 50% of the shots on target, and you cannot score a freaking goal. All right, I gotta say this, right? Andrew was phenomenal. The goalie, the goalie
in the second half, he
came out his life, right? Yeah. But putting that aside, I wanna mention this because Mikey was talking about the deliveries. When I was watching the second half of Sporting, right, and it was the same situation as Benfica. All the deliveries were just off, off, and off. So, Mr. Gomez, explain this to me, please. Why you couldn't score against Gibson?
Yeah. Well, first off, we didn't play the first 45 minutes, so those 45 minutes were gone. They were completely ineffective. In the first 45 minutes, you saw a team that did not bring any energy. There was there's no intensity. They weren't making these darting runs. They weren't getting vertical. They weren't getting open. So they were they couldn't get anything up the middle. So they were resorting to playing out wide, and they were crossing the ball in. And I've mentioned this before. This isn't Sporting's game. Jokic is not a stationary number 9. That was not how they won the league last season, playing that way, and it was completely ineffective in the first half. The second half, for the first time, his changes actually worked initially. I think taking out Quaresma was a good move. Quaresma had nothing left yesterday. So Mateus Reis came in, and you did see an energy boost. You saw Mateus Reis more involved. And I think that's why you saw Sporting moving the ball a lot quicker, and they were able to, to penetrate that final third. Another change that I saw was they began to bring Victor out. So you saw Victor out more on the left, and Harder was more central. And I think Sporting improved with that. One of the big chances they had was a cross out from the right side, and Harder got a good header on the ball and forced Andrew into a good save. So it appears that Harder's probably a more classic number 9. I think he's a better header of the ball than Jokic did, because
he's
Jokic
not playing as the number 9.
They had. I saw him play more as the number 9 in the second half, and that's when I thought Sporting got more effective. He also took out Kenda, which I thought was a good move too. Kenda didn't have anything yesterday. And he put in Katamo, and you started seeing Sporting, getting into some dangerous areas, and they did have some chances in that second half. They looked more like Sporting for the first time in weeks. So I mean, my interest was peaked in that second half. I started to feel good again, even though they didn't score the goal. I did see them finally looking dangerous. And creating some chances. But again, it came down to, a lack of creativity, where you had to win the game to hold on to first place. You knew Benfica was going to win on Monday. I was very confident Benfica was going to win on Monday. So here we are, we get to the 80th minute, and we put in Mauro Couto. The guy's 17. He looks like he's 14. I know he was our ace in the hole, evidently. And you had Marcus Edwards, collecting dust on the bench. I know. When you got 10 minutes to go and you need to win, you risk it. You take out Maxi. You put Marcus in. You leave. You just go without a left back, and you draw, and you make Jokic and Harder get them into the box. Get 2 strikers into the box. You got to take risks. You got to take risks. You got to try to win the game. I mean, this is for first place. You know, and he puts in Maracuja. I mean, again, it was just another, mind-boggling move. But I mean, I did like the second half overall. I thought that they were more fluid. I thought they were getting into dangerous places. Obviously there was that very weird play where the penalty where Tabas it looked like he got fouled. The ball went to Trincão. Trincão scored. Then he calls it penalty, and then they take the penalty away. Again, the first time I've ever seen anything like that. Usually, if in a play where you're about to call a penalty, but it does go to somebody and they score, it's a goal, and then they don't call the penalty. I just thought it was strange. I mean, they're saying, well, he blew the whistle and the defender stopped. It took literally maybe less than a second from the ball to get to Trincão. Trincão just slotted it home. So I don't know about that argument. It was a strange play, but it was an example of Sporting getting into the box and making those passes. Getting those passes back. That's classic Sporting, where they get to that final third, make the pass back on the grounds, and that's how they score a lot of their goals. So I saw a little bit more Sporting. In that second half, but it still was just too little. It wasn't enough.
I know it wasn't enough. Mr. Louis Borges method, right? He's changed. This guy. He was all about Joe Pereiras last week.
He was the Joe Pereira method. What is this? Now he's the Louis Borges method.
He changed. He's the Louis Borges method.
Now he's the Louis Borges method.
Listen, Kenna had one savage and infuriating play right before he was sub off. He was dribbling in the box and he played dive when the defenders were all panicking. He could have made a square pass for someone else to shoot. Yeah. He could have, but he didn't. He didn't do it.
Yeah.
This guy, I'm wondering who's he gonna be next week. This guy, man.
I know this guy keeps on changing his handle.
Now you mentioned a 17-year-old, right? And now we're gonna talk. Of course, because we have to talk about this 17-year-old. We must talk about this 17-year-old. I was so excited when I saw Rodrigo Mora as a starter. For Porto, and I was like, okay, let me see what are you made of, kid. Let me see what are you made of, because when I saw you coming in from the bench, spectacular, stellar, doing everything right, not risking, playing simple, and using his talents to service to the team. As a starter, he had the best start for a 17-year-old in 35 years. Mr. Mauricio Ruano, talk to me about Rodrigo Mora. Is he the next big thing in Portuguese soccer?
Well, they've been saying that for a while for him, because he was part of that Porto youth team that won that league and everything, that playoff league that they had. Yeah, everyone said he was the guy from that team that led them. So everyone was pretty excited when he was starting to build up for when he came up with Porto. So that's why when I saw him start, I couldn't wait to see him, because I hadn't seen him really start in a professional game, especially against a good team like Moreirense over there. I really wanted to see what he could do. And he picked his spots. He was smart. He picked his spots. And when he got that ball to cross it, he did a little move like he was going to do the little Quaresma, and he cut it back and he put it right on Samu's head. And he knew, for a 17-year-old kid, he knew, my guy's going to get the ball. If I put it up there, he's going to beat that guy. It's a simple play, and he put it right on the money, and Samu did the rest. That's what frustrates me even watching Sporting. Like, it's a 17-year-old kid can figure that out. He got the ball, he put it in the right spot. Like Mikey just said, it's the crosses. You put in a good cross to a quality striker like a Pavlidis or Samu or Yorkres. That's what they can do with it, and that's what he did. He was very good for his first start. Very good. I hope to see him more. I think he deserves to play more. But we'll see.
Yeah.
And you know what is the most exciting part about this kid? It's not about the flares, it's not about the tricks, it's not about the sensational speed or anything else. No, it's just the way he looks at the game to make the plays effective and be simple and be just to work for the team. And that's hard for a 17-year-old, because when you're 17, you're gonna be the star. You're gonna be doing. You gotta show the world that you matter, right? But no, this kid, well level on his head. I like him, and hopefully we can see more of them. Mike, did you get the chance to watch a game or for Porto? Or did you just watch
No, I didn't see Porto, but I read up on it a little bit. But they're quietly putting themselves in this race. We're so focused on our two teams, and here they are right behind us. And everyone thinks they're still calling for their manager to be sacked. And here they are right on the heels of both of our teams. And a draw this weekend will likely see Portugal into first place.
Oh, yeah.
Going into the new year.
Yeah.
In what was supposedly this crisis year where they were just, they were just so bad. They'd lost their identity, like we had said. And here we are now, and we have a 3-team race, and I think they're in a really good spot because everyone's forgetting about them. There's so much attention on the two Lisbon teams, and here they are just taking care of business and going about it in their way, and here they are. They're following the same pace. And
watch out with this. What Borges Method says. I've seen happy Porto fans this season.
Yeah, they have the best schedule. He's right.
I can't get over the Roy Borges Method.
They have the big games at home now in the second half of the season.
Everybody gotta go to Dragao. Everybody gotta go to Dragao. Oh,
That's
boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah, you gotta watch out for them. Don't count them out ever.
Yeah. What's that saying on Christmas? Who's leading on Christmas? How's that thing? How you say that?
That's right. The Christmas carnival and the other one, right?
Yeah, it was something about that.
And Easter. I don't know.
Yeah, Bruno Lage.
Yeah.
He said it's not about at Christmas, at Carnival, or at Easter. It's in May. Whoever's in first place. So.
Exactly. That's what it matters. That's what it matters. Now, Mikey, all those weeks off of Tuga, and watching whatever you can watch, because I know your schedule is kind of crazy. But so how are you feeling, going into the derby on Sunday to close the year with Sporting, man?
Honestly, it's a one-off game. It's like a final. It doesn't matter what form either team is coming in with, and it's at Alvalade. It's going to be very difficult. No matter who's on the touchline for Sporting, listen, they're going to come out. They're going to play, and I don't think there's a favorite. We have not played that well. We're getting results, but we're not playing that well.
There's a clear favorite.
And listen,
they don't believe you, Mikey. They don't believe you.
No.
That's fine, but Sporting didn't just forget how to play football. They may be struggling, but they didn't forget how to play football. They haven't forgotten. Gyökeres can go off on a poker. He could go on a tear. Benfica still has difficulty playing against the back three that flexes into a back five. That's going to be troublesome. And depending what combination of midfielders Lage rolls out there, they could easily be overrun in the midfield. We've seen smaller teams do it in the recent weeks. So I'm not all that confident in this one. This match could go either way. It all depends who's going to show up on the day and which team is going to play to their potential. And if Benfica gets comfortable for 1 minute, they're going to slip right up. We saw that in Opsh. That's all it takes. You just got to get comfortable for 1 minute, and you'll be punished. And I think Sporting's going to be hungry. They're going to want it. They're going to be at home in front of their fans. And there's something extra for them when they play Benfica. Everybody knows that, and it's going to be a very, very tough test, especially with their backs against the wall and with this, the season on the line, so to speak. I mean, there's a long way to go, but it feels like the season's on the line every time we go into these matches, which, as long as there isn't a draw, whoever wins this game goes into the new year in the driver's seat, either with a 4-point lead or with a 2-point lead, depending which team gets the win. And then we're going back to the part of the calendar where Benfica struggled. So I think Benfica, it's not all, it's not all easy right now, because we're going back into that part of the schedule where all those points were dropped. And Sporting's going back into the part of the calendar where they won 11 straight. So it's completely up in the air right now.
And then we want to talk about in a second about the one of the biggest issues that Benfica is having this season is their offense to defense transition. I'm going to talk about it in a second, but let me ask Derek here. Derek, they changed the driver right before the race starts.
Yeah. I think
in Lisbon. And how you feel about this, man?
I think this was an attempt of Varandas to save his own skin, because if you went in there with João Pereira, and Benfica goes into the Alvalade and wins, with João Pereira as the coach, Alvalade is going to explode. There would be massive. There'd be
riots.
Massive, there'd be riots. Massive criticism. Massive pressure. They'd be waiting for everybody outside the stadium. So by doing this, he's showing the fans that he's trying to mitigate it. He's trying to do something about it. So this could just essentially be to save his own skin. I think that's what it is. Obviously, Rui Borges is going to go in there. His first training session is probably going to be Thursday. So I don't think he's really going to be able to cook up much, for Sunday's game. I think this is
psychological.
I think this switch was more for Varandas' own self-preservation. That's just how I'm looking at it. I don't know how this really isn't going to change the dynamics or how Sporting is feeling going in, to this game. So I think that this was the sole purpose of this was just to save his own skin. I don't think it's going to have much of an impact, on the game itself or Sporting psyche, which is right now severely damaged. It's a horrible time to catch Benfica. It's horrible, whether it's Rui Borges or João Pedro. It's a horrible, horrible time to catch Benfica. And to echo what Mike just said about back against the wall. This is Sporting's back is really against the wall right here. A loss here would, in my opinion, just end it. There's no coming back from this loss. It would be a back-breaking loss, in my opinion. Last week we talked about the domino effect. You have this Benfica game, and then the week after that you got to go to Guimarães, and then after that you got the semi-final against Porto in the Taça da Liga.
Yeah,
and then you got to go to Vila Conde.
Or you die.
Yeah. That's why I think this really is a back against the wall game. You lose this, and just forget about it. We have Rui Borges. We'll see what happens. He's going to be there for the rest of the season. We'll see what happens. But a loss here would just be catastrophic, in my opinion.
Mauricio. So we're talking about Rui Borges here, and he is doing a fantastic job with Vitória Guimarães. Fantastic job with Vitória Guimarães. He, and in Europe, right? We're talking about in Europe.
In Europe, yeah.
Okay, so if there's concerns about the quality of the readiness of this coach for Sporting, I don't think that's the case. I think it's for me, if it's a gamble, it's a bold move from Varandas to get Rui Borges, and I think he's gonna do well. What are your thoughts on this, Mauricio?
I actually think Rui Borges is Plan B, not Plan A. I think Plan A was always
he could have been.
I think Plan A was Abel.
He could have been Plan C.
The salary was too high.
Yeah.
They couldn't do it, so they went with Plan B. And guess what? My Plan B would have been Rui Borges too, because with what he's been doing with Guimarães, he's the best non-top 3 coach right now in the league. I would have done it too. But I think he was the Plan B. I thought Abel was always Plan A. Before this news broke out, the news for Abel re-signing with Palmeiras came out for another year. So I thought, and Derek knows this, last week we heard those rumors. I think they were trying to get him. They found out he was earning too much. It was too much for the pay for half the season and all that. And they went with Plan B. And Borges is Plan B. And like you said, doing a phenomenal job with Guimarães. With that game he just did against Fiorentina, they got unlucky at the end. They should have won that game against Fiorentina, and they got unlucky at the end. But we'll see what happens. Now, he doesn't play the same formation. He plays a 4-2-3-1.
He plays in the back four. Yeah, he plays in the back.
He plays that. So now he has to get used to players and where to put them and stuff like that. So
it's going to take a
like
long time.
Derek said, we're catching Benfica and them. It's just not the right time. It's just not enough time either. This should have been done when you found out Amorim was leaving, and you had about 2 weeks to get a coach.
You get a qualified coach
to get everybody going. This was the one you should have done, and they got caught. Varandas and also Hugo Viana, they got caught with their pants down. Like, oh my, what do we do now? And they tried to roll Breda in with us with that whole we trust them, so there wasn't any backlash or anything like that. But listen, we'll see what Borges does. Right now, he's done great with Guimarães. Let's see what happens. That's all I can say is just see what happens. But he to me, what I feel like, he was the plan B, not the plan A.
Right now, so Borges plays with a back four. Benfica also plays with a back four. But as I was saying earlier, Mikey. So I've been calling every Benfica's game that I called this decision. If you heard me, I mean, I know you did, but I'm calling them they're counter-attack friendly.
Yeah,
counter-attack friendly. It's just so easy, you know. The recovery after the right after they recover the ball, the opponents, and they go deep into the heart of the Benfica almost every time. Every chance they got. And they haven't improved that part.
No, I think the central defense, the backs come up too high. You know, as you notice, Cajetas likes to they have him tucking in with the two center backs, and they come out as a back three, which is why Best plays as much as he does, because he really has to be a wing back and not a winger. And what happens is Tomás or Otamendi or whoever's in there today, was Antonio Silva, they find that lane to go up, but then the ball gets lost and there's a huge hole for the other team to attack. They know where it is before the game and they go after it. And you have an outside back like Ba, who going forward is great, but defensively he's a complete liability. And I'm worried about him in the derby as well, because when he has to actually stand in and defend, he's not very good. He's good at doing other things. He's good at going forward. He's good at, using his pace, and he recovers well. But when it's 1 versus 1 and he's, in a defensive stance and he has to defend a dribbler, he almost always gets beat. Almost always. And, a lot of times Tomás has to recover for him because he has the speed to do it. But when they go to the other side, there isn't that same kind of speed. And counterattack friendly, like you say, that they do leave themselves exposed. I think Benfica at times play naive in offense. They go with too many guys forward and they don't recover quickly. The ball gets lost. You have to be on your horses getting back when you know that that's the case. But there's a focus on trying to win the ball back really quickly. But if you don't win it in those first 3-4 seconds, that long ball is knocked and now everybody's pulled out of position. And that's how, a number of goals. And that's how a lot of goals get surrendered. But the one positive that I'm seeing is, because I criticized him some months ago, but Trubin has come back and he has been very good recently. So, but that game at Bayern Munich where they just decided to sit back and let Munich have target practice was a big game for Trubin. He made a lot of saves, and ever since then, he's been very, very sure.
He made a big save today.
Big save today. Right in the beginning. Right in the beginning, yeah.
Not even 2 minutes in.
Not even. So, but yeah, they are exposed. They do leave themselves exposed. The good thing about going into the derby is they don't have to have the ball for 60% of the game. Benfica and Sporting can share the possession, because too much possession for me always leads to that exposure and to being left for that counterattack for the opponent.
Complacency, a little bit of that. Yeah. Derek, so Mike is saying this, right? And that's their Achilles, right? Yeah. But do you see Sporting, doing real damage? I mean, against Benfica when they offer these spots in the back in order to do the counterattacks. Do they have the speed? Do they have the power? Do they have what it takes to exploit that mistakes that Benfica makes in the back?
Yeah, they do. I mean, they have Victor. I think Harder's really come on. So I mean, they have the weapons to do it, and they have, they have, those are guys that have pace. So Sporting can hurt you on the counterattack. They've done it to Benfica. They did it to Benfica a lot last year.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, it's just the current state of Sporting. It's right now, it just it just feels doubtful. But I mean, obviously, they have the ability to do it. They can hurt Benfica on a counterattack.
The capabilities, but
right. It's just right now, the psychology of it. I mean, it's sort of like a great example was the play that Victor was able to finally get by that center back from Gil Vicente, who actually had a really good game. What is his name, Gabon or something like that. He was able to get by him, and then you saw the panic, you saw the nervousness, you saw the indecision. Where is he going to cut it back? Is he going to try to take a shot? And then he goes down easily looking for a penalty. And that right there is a sign of a team that's not confident, that's thinking too much.
Mm-hmm.
Where I do think Victor under normal circumstances gets the advantage on the defender, takes it strong, and scores like the goal that he scored last year in the Luge.
Yeah,
exactly.
When
he was able to get a step on Antonio Silva, he went to the net strong, shot it, near post, but
and he never gave up that position.
There was no hesitation.
Yeah.
Right now, Sporting is just thinking way too much. There's a lack of confidence, and this is the state of Sporting as we're entering into this. It's this really massive game. So that's why we're, that's why there just really isn't much, confidence right now heading into this. But again, we'll see what happens. A mistake can happen at the back, and it just takes a split second, and a goal changes the game. So.
And the game is at the Avalade, right? Is that the Avalade? The play at the Avalade?
The game is the game is at the Avalade. It's going to be packed. Everyone's eyes are going to be on this game. Not an ideal, for Rui Borges, his first game. Maybe not the ideal game to start.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, we'll see, man.
We'll see. All right. So this is what a way to make a debut with Sporting, right, in a derby. So let me ask you this: so if you were Rui Borges, right? You were Rui Borges. I'm going to be the title now. You are the next coach for Sporting, Mr. Ruano. And now you're actually Rui Borges. You're going to impersonate Rui Borges. Yeah. I'm going to ask you this: give me your pre-game speech right now. Give me your pre-game speech. 50,000 people.
Man, you're putting this guy on the spot here.
Give me your speech. Come on, Ruano. Give it to me.
Listen, my speech would be like, just trust within yourselves. Believe in your talent. Believe in each other. Make sure you pass the ball to each other. Share the ball with each other, and you'll find the net. As long as you share the ball, believe in each other, and protect each other out there on the field, I believe we'll win this game. Just go out there and prove everybody wrong. That's what I would say, and go out there and do it.
1, 2, 3, Sporting.
That's right.
Oh my God!
Well, listen, that's all you can say with only 3 training days. That's really all you can say.
I know. I was just try to figure it out. Just imagine myself in there, just talking, yelling.
Listen, Roy Borges have a better speech than me. Come on.
His speech should be forget the last month. It's not a bad idea. It's not a bad, I like that. I like that.
I like the last 2 words. I just couldn't say it. I like the last 2 words.
And I ask you, right? Mikey told me one time that when the people just message you CRL.
Yeah, that's the brief.
All right. Okay, I got it now. I know. By the way, guys, I got this lady, Cristina Silva. Because I'm always talking about the food during the broadcast, and this lady sent me a recipe, right, for the francesinhas. Mm-hmm. It is right.
Francesinhas, yeah.
And then she also sent me the one for the bifanas. Boy, there's a lot of work, brother. There's a lot of work to make bifanas, brother, man. I mean, I was thinking, just frying at something, put it in the bone, but no, it's a long process, brother. Yeah. But as I promise, I'm going to make him on Sunday. All right, I'm gonna make
All
it.
right.
I'm gonna show it, guys. I'm gonna be in TikTok, so you're gonna see my Bifana on TikTok live. Okay, so the promise is later that I'm gonna maybe finance on the Lisbon derby. So it goes both ways, right? Is this a Lisbon thing? Is this a Benfica thing? Mike, how is
No, I think everybody likes beef funish.
Yeah.
Everyone likes beef
It's
funish.
just your stadium sandwich outside the stadium.
Yeah.
Why is this your choripán? That's what you call it? The chorizo?
Yeah. And
unreal. Mikey, so who's the I was gonna say this. No, I know who he is, but is Di Maria having a better second season than the first one?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right? Is he?
Yeah, I think so too.
I think so. He seems to be he's being managed better, but he's allowing the manager to manage him better too, which I think is something that last year I think he was overly insistent on playing all the time. Although his minutes are starting to creep up there again, and I'm starting to get a little nervous about it. But yeah, I think him not going to the national team on every international break has really done him a lot of good.
Yes.
He gets that time off, and
he quit the national team.
Yeah.
He retired, not he quit.
He retired from the national team, and it was already after the last international break is where he really started to catch form when he had those 2 weeks off. So, yeah, I would say he's having a better season than last season, and the team is playing with him better too. So,
Mr. Gomez, I got the impression of what's his name? She's lost his name. Morty, El Capitan for Sporting. Is he still trying to do too much, or you think he? I mean, because he doesn't trust his teammates. Is that the reason why? You think?
I mean, I think it's a function of us not getting the results, and him wanting to just will us to victory. So he's just doing too much. He's trying too hard. And we talked about this, I think, on the last episode, where I'm just used to this guy patrolling the midfields. Looks like he never breaks a sweat. Looks like he's always in the right position. Is it perfect place, when it comes to ball recovery. It always seems like he recovers the ball with ease, makes the right pass. Just like sort of like an effortless, deep lying midfielder, almost like not as good as Andrea Pirlo, who for me was like, out of this freaking world. But like a player of that nature. Now he's playing more like Rambo, where he's on the right, he's on the left. He's trying to win the ball. He's trying to be a pit bull. The ball. Yeah. So he's just out of his game because it's almost like he's just trying too hard. Could it be because he doesn't trust João Simões right now? João Simões is 17. So he's trying to compensate for that. There could be an element of that. But I'd like to see Morton playing the way that Morton was playing before, getting back to a strong suit. And then hopefully Sporting can settle down, get some results eventually, and then maybe we can see Morton back. Maybe if they go, with Rui Borges, maybe if they go with the three midfielders and there's two in front of him, and he can sit back and and just be more Morton. Maybe that's going to benefit him. I don't know. I don't know what the plan is. But I mean, again, I am not a huge fan of this move. I'll be honest about it. I just think that this guy he's one of those coaches that I feel is a good coach for a mid-table team where he can organize the team. He's doing what he has. I think he's doing it right now.
Give him the chance.
But I want to have it on record on December 23rd that I said. But I don't see I don't see his teams playing dynamic football. I think that when we got Ruben, you saw what he was doing. Braga was playing really dynamic football. They were fun to watch, good creative football. So I had expectations for Ruben. Right now I'm very lukewarm on this right now. Don't get me wrong, I do feel that he's much more qualified, though that's not that hard to be, but he's much more qualified than João Pereira. He's more seasoned than João Pereira. But yeah, I mean, again, I just think that this is like a promotion of a guy who's just made for these like mid-table teams, sort of in the mold of like a Nuno Espírito Santo, sort of in the mold of Paul Fonseca. These guys who do well at these middle-tier teams, but then when they're given the opportunity to play these, to coach these big teams, we've all seen what happened. We saw what Nuno Espírito Santo did when he was in charge of Tottenham and Porto. We saw what Paul Fonseca did when he was in charge of Porto. Go ask AC Milan to see how they're doing right now. And Benfica and Sporting have done this before. We went and got Paul Sergio. That worked out really well. Benfica got Kik Flores. That worked out excellent. Manuel José. This is just, I think, another hiring in that mold. I think he organizes the team really well, but it's all about creative football, dynamic football. If you want to fight for titles,
they lost several players entering the season, so including Jota Silva, who was the people.
Yeah, he was their key man. Yeah.
So they lost some key elements, right?
Yeah.
Right, Mauricio. Listen, if you have to make, what will be your bold move coming into the derby on Sunday? What will be your bold move as being the Sporting coach?
Bold move meaning who I would put in the lineup?
Maybe. You know where I'm going, but
I'll be honest with you. It all depends on the formation that he plays. Because if he plays that 4-2-3-1 that he plays over there at Guimarães, well, we're missing that number 10 right now, and that's Bot, that would play behind Gyökeres. We're missing that guy. And there's nobody on the team because Bragança's hurt, Morita's hurt. There's no one to fill in a number 10 behind the forward. And as much as it might hurt me to even say this, it might be your boy, who's probably the best suited guy right now, to play that number 10.
Marcus Edwards, yeah.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
He might be the best one. And that's why it bothered me that he didn't bring him in against Gil Vicente and you brought in a teenager. You need a goal. A guy creates goals. You leave him on the bench freezing just with his heavy coat on, doing nothing.
All right, guys, let's make a bet here. So, what do I do? All right, tell me, you gotta propose me something. If Marcus Edwards starts on Sunday, what should I do? What should I do if Marcus Edwards starts on Sunday? Come on, be creative, guys. Mike, what do you think should I do, man? Should I just shake my head or something? I don't know.
Yeah, the chances of that are low.
I don't see a new coach coming in and just changing everything on 2 days.
I don't think so.
Yeah. I think he's going to roll out the 3-4-3. I don't think.
That's what he's smart.
Change that formation. I mean, it's a team that's been playing the same system for 4 years. Yeah, you're not changing.
Yeah, it's going to be
a
very similar starting lineup.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might see.
We're gonna wrap it up here, guys, because the Mondays I got another one at 10. So we're gonna do the predictions. Mr. Benfica, I know you got him up.
I got him
up.
up.
I know you got the games up, brother.
Yep.
Fire away.
All right, Friday, Aroca hosting Gil Vicente.
Oh,
damn.
I think Gil Vicente gets this one.
I think my Gilistas.
I
think the Gilistas
2-1 Gil Vicente, I'll say.
I'm going to go 1-0. Oh, Mauricio, you go.
I'm going to go 1-1.
1-1. And then it said 1-0 Aroca?
1-0 Aroca, yeah.
1-0 Aroca. All right. Taking notes, guys. Taking notes, to play your bets. Mikey, what's next?
AVS SAD versus Estrela da Amadora. Could they both lose?
Wow. -1. No goals in that game. No goals.
Yeah. -1 to -1.
Yeah. Lyric.
I'm gonna go with Obj 2-1.
Okay. All right. I like it. What's next?
Estoril versus Moreirense.
Holy crap, man. Can we get more crappy games, man?
Yeah, these are terrible games, man.
I'm gonna be the only one watching these games.
Yeah, 1-1. Yeah, all of them.
Yeah.
All of them 1-1, man. Mikey, what do you got?
Moreirense will win 2-1.
2-1. All right. We're gonna go for 40. There you go. It's Derek. What do you got in that one?
I'm gonna go 1-1 on that one. Yeah.
1-1. Mauricio, 2-1.
I'm gonna go 2-0 Moreirense.
2-0. Okay.
All right.
I expect them to bounce back.
Talking about bold moves, huh? Talking about bold moves. Mikey.
Porto Boa Vista, the derby de Invicta.
Oh man.
Not gonna be much of a derby. No.
Yeah.
3-1 Porto.
3-0 Porto. I think it's 3-0. I think they're gonna crush them.
I think it's gonna be 2-0. 2-0.
2-0.
Yeah.
Mauricio?
I'm going with Mikey's 3-0 score.
Yeah.
3-0, huh? Yeah. Man,
Boa Vista can only score against Sporting.
Yeah.
I know. The only goal of the season from Boston. The only goal of the season from Boston. All right, Mike, what's next?
All right, Sunday early. We got Farense hosting Vitória Guimarães.
They're gonna need a new coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it didn't end well today for Vitória, so
No.
another 2-2 draw, I think.
2-2. 2-2.
Yeah.
2-2 on that one. Yeah.
I'm gonna go 1-1.
1-1. Mauricio?
Yeah, I like Derek's 1-1.
Okay. All right. Next.
Rio Ave hosting Nacional.
Rio Ave.
Yeah.
3-1. 3-1. Yeah. We're authority to Rio Ave. There you go.
I'll go 2-1 Rio Ave.
Mauricio?
I will go 1-1.
1-1.
I'm with Mike on this one, 2-1.
2-1. All right. Next.
Braga hosting Casa Pia.
That's gonna be tough, man.
That's gonna be a good game.
Casa Pia's been good
game.
lately. Yeah.
That's gonna
But
be
there's going to be goals. There's going to be, I'm telling you, there's going to be lots of goals tonight. I'm not going to call that game, but it's going to be like 3-2 Braga.
Yeah, my instinct was 3-2 Braga also.
Derek?
I'm gonna go 2-2.
2-2. All right. Goals.
Yeah.
It's going to be goals, man.
Casa Pia's turn the corner.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 2-1 Braga.
2-1 Braga. All right. Mikey?
And then it's the derby.
Oh, boy.
BENFICA.
All right. Hold your horses, guys. Hold your horses. Who's going to win this one?
We don't have any horses
this one? Mr. Gomez, give me your numbers.
It's gonna be Sporting 0, Benfica 2. It's 2-0.
Ooh.
Freaking Lord. Mauricio.
2-0.
I was reading already that score too. 2-0. I think Benfica's gonna win 2-0.
2-0. Yeah.
I think both teams score, to be honest. My initial thought was 1-1. I'm going to stick 1-1.
Honestly, it's going to be more critical than that, more dramatic than that. It's going to be 2-2. I think it's going to be 2-2. 2-2. Goals and then, 2-2. What's next, Mikey?
I don't think there's a Monday game next week because we have tossed it. Oh, we do have a Monday game. Fama versus Santa Clara.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'll take Santa Clara on this one. I'll take Santa Clara. 1-0. Gabi Silva. 1-0. What's next, Mikey?
I'll go 1-0 to Famalicão at home.
Famalicão at home. All right.
Up north in the rain.
Yeah.
I'm actually going with a tie. I'm going to say 0-0.
Oh, all right.
I'm with Mauricio on this one. I think it's 0-0.
0-0. All right.
Yeah.
And the Rui Borges met a Sporting CP next Friday. It's saying that Sporting will win 1-0.
Yesterday, this guy was the João Pereira method. I can't trust the word this guy says.
Yeah, did you tell us not to worry last week?
It's ridiculous, man. I love this guy, man. One time, man. All right, guys. Thank you for being here tonight. I know it's on a Monday, but still got Tuesdays, and tomorrow is Christmas. So Merry Christmas to you guys. Mauricio, to everyone out there. to the prodigy of Sporting CP. Also, Merry Christmas to you and all the people that's been connected tonight. Appreciate you. And Mikey, before we go, real quick, Sunday, can you do it on Sunday?
Yeah.
We're gonna do it right after the game. It's gonna be
okay
with the heat of the moment, brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will probably be drunk. Yeah.
It's gonna be a fantastic day.
Yeah, I'll be available for a
Sunday
show.
We're gonna have a Sunday post-game show.
Okay.
All right.
You guys.
Let's do it, guys.
Bye-bye.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas, guys.